RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
All right, guys, we're back. We're back. I'm back. This is unapologetic liberal talk on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Checking the mic. We've had a couple of issues with that. Okay, it looks okay. You guys will let me know if it sounds okay. If you're on any other platform, well, we're on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher. Give the show a good review on iTunes, also on ROKFIN.com. If you can, go on over there. And this show is bundled with other shows, that liberal shows. There are other shows there with interesting perspectives. I can't talk. And what else? What else? FYINation.com, of course. And who cares, right? Let's just get into the show. If you can become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin, that'll keep the show going. Yeah, I don't know about growing, but it'll keep it going. So, alrighty, let's do it. And I said I was going to do a show. I was a little not in a good mood on the last show on Friday that we did the show. So I do want to start off by saying, I don't know, sorry. I wanted to, maybe not sorry, just apologize, I guess, for bringing my own bullshit to the show, because I have been feeling rather discouraged, and I should save it for my shrink and not put that on the show. So, I've been feeling discouraged about the show, but that's not your fault. So the people here are the ones, you guys are supporting the show. So, yeah. All right. So I'll work on that. And what else? But so I appreciate, everything. And I said I wasn't going to do a show until unless we got a new patron. We didn't get any new patrons. But I said that there are other ways to support the show. So some people actually, I guess, I got some tweets, please do the show and things like that. So I'm doing the show. We're doing a show. We're getting together. I guess it's better for me because then I'm just thinking mentally, because what would be my plans otherwise tonight? Probably go and get unconscious. Go lay down. And I don't know. I've been watching the news all day. I don't know if I can take that anymore. But yes, I would probably distract myself from life in some way or another. Other than that, who knows? Whatever. Never give up. That's, I guess, take my own advice. I don't, the show's not perfect, but like I say, we do it anyway. You know what I mean? You don't wait for the perfect everything. You like the perfect phone call. You do it anyway. Yeah. So, and we have a lot of work to do. There's so many traitors running around, and they never stop. So, I also have something in my eye. I don't know why. Why do I have something in my eye? Me, of all people, to have something in my eye at the worst time. I don't know what the fuck. So, if I do that, that's why. If I do that during the show, it's because I can't get... Whatever's in my eye will not get out of my eye. Hold on. Now I can't put my glasses on. Jesus Christ. All right, so let's talk about the traitors among us. And today... I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of Republicans. And before I begin, let me just say thank you right out of the gate. Thank you, Richard W., for your super chat. Another great show, Tara. Thank you. Let's hope. And I appreciate you guys for, I don't know, just your understanding and your support anyway, even when I don't deserve it. So... And thank you, Jim, for your super chat. That helps. I mean, Jim is he's not kidding around. He likes the show. That's good. And Richard W. too. My God, we haven't even begun. And he loves the show. It's a great show already. I think it's a good show. I don't know. What do I know, though? All right. Because, otherwise we're up against the big moneyed interests. That's not just me saying this. I explain. Billionaires fund all of their right-wing YouTube stars and whatnot. They pull them out of their, their shows in their mommy's basement, and they put them in the White House. They put them on Fox News. I just watched some, oh God, maybe I had it recorded. I should show you. I was I was just watching shit to talk about on the show. And on YouTube, I ran into this, an ad for Candace Owens. Oh, and oh my God, it was horrible. And she was interviewing Trump in this ad. But she's calling him the president. It's not an old interview. She's interviewing him now, calling him Mr. President. Fuck you, Candace Owens. Sometimes that's all you can say as far as scintillating commentary. Fuck you. You bunch of traitors. I mean, Candace Owens is a grifter. But they all are grifters, and they hate democracy. This is the problem. Not only do they hate democracy, they're confused by democracy. They're confused, period. They're confused. Look at we're going to talk about the trucker tantrum going on. Shut up and go home, morons. But yet again, it's not. What are they protesting? Oh, they're protesting the mandates that don't exist now? God forbid anybody ask Republicans to do a single thing, to take a simple, basic action to help their country and community. That's too much for them. That's a bridge too far. But we're going to hear all about how everybody else is a Nazi, right? These people, nobody's asking them to storm the beaches of Normandy, but they couldn't even wear a mask. That's why we're pushing 1 million dead. I don't know. I don't think this pandemic is over. Whatever. I'll still wear a mask when I go into stores and whatnot. I don't trust it, frankly. And I don't trust the morons. I live in New York, but our morons, for the most part. I mean, they're here, but they have the decency to shut their traitor mouths sometimes. Not all the time. I'm just tired of them. I don't know about you. I'm tired of the tediousness. And that's why I titled the show, If Only We Could Harness That Tediousness for Energy. We wouldn't have to be in bed with the world's dictators. Oh, but they love it. Republicans love it. And I was just watching online again, Pete Buttigieg, I'm not a big fan, but the Republicans, any attempt to rally the American people to a common purpose, to say, let's get away from this archaic energy system destroying the planet. Let's, and if we were already, if we had passed Build Back Better and we could be putting people to work with jobs, building electric infrastructure from sea to shining sea, no, we wouldn't have to worry about the price of oil anymore because we'd be free, effing free, Instead, Republicans, they wouldn't pull a hair for freedom. They want us to be supplicants and lickspittles to the world's most horrible people who hate America. And that's why they're all a bunch of traitors, all of them. You're either a traitor or a dumbass. That's what it comes down to, and sometimes both. Well, most of the time, both. Look at all of the Republican power structure. Today, Bill Barr, he has a book out, so he's going out, and he said that, he told a story about how Trump fired him because he wouldn't go along with stealing the election, that he was legally and peacefully voted out of office until he turned his fragile, tiny ego into a coup. He activated the morons. And Bill Barr told him, no, I'm not going along with your coup. And Trump fired him. And he told the story to Lester Holt and continued to go on saying how Trump is a liar. He's a pathological liar. He's a moron who does everything he could to, but literally get down on his knees and cup Putin's balls. That's Trump. But Bill Barr's saying this out in the open. And then he was asked, will you vote for Trump if he's the nominee? Yes, I'll vote for him. Do we need any more examples that the Republicans are the domestic enemies the founders warned us about? You just said, Bill Barr, you disgrace, that your dim leader is a traitor who wanted to overthrow a legal election in this country. Because he can't handle it. He's a loser. Everybody knows he's a loser. He's been a loser since zygote. My God, if his mother had aborted him, that would have been a beautiful thing. We could. This whole world would not miss a single Trump strand of DNA. All of them. We could do. Imagine how much better the world would be without an Ivanka, or a Donald Trump Jr., or an Eric Trump, much less this disgusting con man. They're all con men. But Bill Barr says he's going to vote for him again, and they all will. I don't get it. I do not get it. Every now and then, we have these moments where, like, why? Why would you vote for somebody who is a horrible person in general? Just a horrible piece of dirt. And I don't want to insult dirt, because dirt sometimes has a purpose. Like scumbags have a purpose, You need a place to put your scum. I don't want to call him a pig, because pigs are decent. They're charming, intelligent. Not like a Trump. Not like a Donald Trump Jr. Or the Republican Party. I'm so sick of it. I don't want to insult. What do you call them? I don't want to insult them by calling them rats, because rats are decent. In comparison, they've done studies on rats. Given a choice between a treat and drowning, they put one rat in the water and it's struggling, and they put another rat in the cage with him, and the rat has a choice: eat a treat or save their fellow rat. They save their fellow rat every single time. You can't say that for Republicans. So really, to call a Republican a rat is to honor them, to elevate them. So when I say, they're rats, they're pigs, they're not pigs, because pigs are charming, intelligent, decent, and they also have contributed more to the world. Not just in giving their very lives for human sustenance, but in medicine, to save people's lives. That's another reason I don't eat meat. Because we're so physiologically similar to pigs in general that's why they use all kinds of medicine is created using them. I don't know all the technicalities, but oh boy. But you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, G? And watching them, these filthy fascist whiners, toddlers, morons, in comparison to the people of Ukraine. Now Trump is going out there saying, "Oh, you notice how," this is what he said at CPAC, everything that happened, what Putin did during George W. Bush and then during Obama, how he tested the limits, annexing Crimea and all the other crimes that Putin pulled off during these many years in his illegitimate power, I suppose, at this point. But yeah, that's true. He didn't do anything under Trump. And then he's saying, look, and then he waited until Biden to invade Ukraine. He waited, as John Bolton said, not only because he wasn't ready to invade at the time, but because Trump was going to pull the plug on NATO. He was waiting for his puppet to be reelected, to have the so-called political capital, to take a dump on the post-World War II peace agreement. Defense, I don't know if it's peace, you know what I mean? The agreement that really tickled Putin's balls. Why am I saying that twice in one show already? Something about cupping balls, now tickling balls. What's going on with me? Maybe I just like to say that word, balls. It's funny. You know what I mean? It's funny to say balls. Just say it, balls. Anyway. So, yeah. So he's saying that, because this is what happens. This is what Republicans do. Whine and cry and distance yourself from all of the failure you seed the country with. And take credit for everything that you vote against and everything that has nothing to do with you. Just like the filthy fascist pricks going around the country taking credit for the Build Back, but not the Build Back Better, the infrastructure bill that they voted against. I mean, talk about balls there. They got some balls, baby. There's going to be a lot of talk of balls today. I don't know why. We got another one, haiku, in the chat. Harris Barr. Is he any relation to Bill Barr, the traitor? Bye-bye, Harris. Well, you could stick around, Harris. You just can't put your stupidity on the chat. Nobody needs that shit today. We don't need that any day. Because we're not traitors. We're patriots. Republicans, I wish you would stay around and get a clue. Because Republicans are the domestic enemies the founders warned us about. And no, I don't just say that. We bring the receipts. Did you see? Well, I wish I had it, actually. Why am I bringing it up? The other day on Chris Hayes' show, he went through the whole the connection between Paul Manafort and Ukraine and how just another traitor. The campaign manager of Trump was also the campaign manager of Putin's puppet in Ukraine that was overthrown. That's why Putin doesn't like Zelensky, of course, because he was democratically elected. And all of his plans fell by, weren't coming to fruition. As far as Trump, the connection between what Manafort did in Ukraine, helping Putin put his puppet in power, and what he did here in the United States, there is no saying that they're not connected. Of course, he did the same thing. Same old dirty tricks. Then he got paid buku bucks to do it by the world's worst dictators. And not that any of them are good. They're all the worst. That's why they hate democracy. And Republicans hate democracy too. Because not only do they hate it, they're confused by it. And we'll get to that right now. Let me lower that music. We don't need these cues today. Just for myself. so I know when to shut up. After a couple of hours. All right. We're getting a good chat room going. If you're on any other chat room or any other platform, come on over to youtube.com/C for channel /Tarabuster. Yes, thank you, Haiku. None shall pass. That's right. Well, you could hang out if you disagree. That's fine. Don't be a filthy, disgusting waste of human DNA. Show us that your mother raised you better. You know, but I have to assume that your mother was a dumb bitch too. In that circumstance, right? If you're a troll, that's what you do. I don't know what you said or did for Haiku to delete you. You know, but Haiku is fair. Not like me. I'm just like, get him out of here. Fuck him. But Haiku is just, fair, and, you know, he wouldn't do that. He doesn't just willy-nilly kick people out of the chat room. All are welcome. If you know, just don't pick your ass like a regular Trumpanzee. But that's what they do. Trumpanzees, just like their chimpanzee cousins. They poop in their diapers, and then they put their hand down their diapers, and they start smearing it around, and then blaming everyone else for the poop and the stench. That's it. That's what we're looking at. Okay. Thank you, JD, for your super chat in pounds, you lucky bastard. JD says, hello, Tara and chatters. Hello. We have a great chat room. That's one thing I'm proud of. I really am. We've built a pretty decent community of amazing patriots / normal people who who give me hope. I know. Sometimes my hope is hanging by a thread, but you certainly do give me hope. Yeah. All right. I'm not sure where to start. Where should we start? I know I'm a little all over the place because I was just watching. Maybe I'll just play this if I can find it. It's kind of says everything that Republicans, it's a case in point. Let me see. Because I saw that Pete Buttigieg was trending. Pete Buttigieg. Let me see. And, that I had to investigate. He's not my favorite, of course. He's annoying to me. I don't know. The fact that, of course, I appreciate. Yeah, it's great that we have a man who's married to another man, and, you're welcome, Pete. That's all I can say. Because while you were not even a glimmer in your father's eye, we were out on the front lines, at the picket lines, at the barricades, making a better world. Oh, but that Republicans are trying to roll back, of course. And Pete Buttigieg today said something about, where the fuck is it? How, something about the electric vehicles. Of course, we're concerned about about energy prices and gas prices. And this is what Republicans are doing. They have to beat down on any fissure of disunity. Pour salt in it. Don't use this as an opportunity to unify the American people. Yeah, gas prices are fucking high. And, there are many factors that have to do with that. And it's not because the Republicans can't get their stinking XL pipeline. Everything that we try to do, anything that we encounter, any problem that this country faces, what do Republicans do? They use it as an opportunity to push their bullshit kiss up, kick down agenda. It's never to help the American people at all. How does the Keystone XL pipeline help gas prices in the short term. It doesn't. It doesn't. In fact, Jen Psaki, you have to wonder, Pete, what's his name? Ducey? As Trump, I mean, not Trump, Biden called him a dumb son of a bitch, and he is. He's a dumb son of a bitch. And I have to wonder how many times will Jen Psaki bitch slap him until he gets tired of it. You have to wonder, he probably enjoys it. You know, Republicans have a lot of issues in general, and they're repressed. They hate themselves. I told you the story about Howard Stern. I remember years ago I was listening to Howard Stern during one of the Republican conventions, and he had some prostitutes on who were working the conventions, and he wanted to know, like, who, of course they didn't name names, but they were saying, you know, he said, is there a difference between Republicans and Democrats when you're working the conventions? And the prostitute said, yeah, the Democrats are just, you know, they get prostitutes too, but they just want, you know, kind of what you want, you know, sex, a blowjob, whatever the hell you want. Republicans want to have their balls crushed with high heels. They want to be shit on, things like that. You know, they want to be urinated on. They want to be humiliated. They want to be tied up, and they want to be put in diapers and then disciplined, shit like that, because they're sick. They have issues. I don't know what it is. I wish they would get help. Just get help. Whatever. I'm saying it's not 100% on either way. It's not like all Democrats are normal and all Republicans. Well, that's not true. All Democrats are not normal, right? We all have our outliers, and all Republicans are not normal. I can kind of say that definitively, really, because when you get close to a Republican, if you get right to it, what their issues are. Is it really low taxes on the rich and no regulation? Is that really what you're all about? No. When it comes down to it, it is racism. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it comes down to. Get help, Republicans. If you would get help rather than inflict your manias on society, the world would be a better place. All right. Maybe that's what that person on the chat room he was upset about. He knew. Wait, hold on. Where is it? He knew I knew that he likes his balls crushed with some, like, stiletto shoe. Right? And then he wants to be... Well, he likes his balls crushed after being diapered. Adult diapers. Yeah, like, they call that infantilism, I think. Where you're a grown man, and they found that a lot of, not just Republicans, but a lot of these so-called big business bastards, they want to be abused like babies. They want, because they're sick. They got sicknesses. All right, whatever. I haven't done a study myself, but I just heard Howard Stern talking about it. Okay, so this is what Pete Buttigieg said today.
Clean transportation can bring significant cost savings for the American people as well. Last month, we announced a $5 billion investment to build out a nationwide electric vehicle charging network so that people from rural to suburban to urban communities can all benefit from the gas savings of driving an EV.
Okay, what did he say there? That's not true. Of course, the Daily Caller tweets out, that cesspool, Buttigieg says you don't have to worry about gas prices if you buy an electric vehicle. Someone should remind him how out of touch he sounds. Is that what he said? You don't have to worry about gas prices if you buy an electric vehicle? Let's listen again.
Clean transportation can bring significant cost savings for the American people as well.
He's talking about transportation, green transportation, right? Investing in high-speed rail, electric buses and things like that. That's what he's talking about. And also electric vehicles. But is he wrong? He didn't say, hey, fuck it, fuck you, and your gas prices, because you go out and buy a vehicle. Buy an EV. Whiners. No, but the Daily Caller and the fascists in general, they count on the idiots who consume their propaganda. They count on them not actually listening to the clip. They do this all the time. They'll take something out of context, or even something like this, where, of course, it's out of context, but he's not saying what they say he's saying.
Clean transportation can bring significant cost savings for the American people as well. Last month, we announced a $5 billion investment to build out a nationwide electric vehicle charging network so that people from rural to suburban to urban communities can all benefit from the gas savings of driving an EV.
Did I miss something there? Did he say nobody's worried about the gas prices right now? He's saying we made an investment in this infrastructure, and for not just for the cities, but for rural communities, and everybody can benefit from those savings down the road. Don't you think that the people in the White House, they understand the crunch that the American people are under, and they're doing something about it. But the Republicans, it's never good enough or fast enough, or they will never work with the Democrats, because they don't want the American people to not be in pain. That's their strategy to win power, so they can finally, not even win it, illegitimately seize power despite receiving fewer votes, as usual, so they can finally put the coup de grace on democracy once and for all. Just the other day, all of the same traitors who right after January 6th, the day of January 6th, were saying things like Trump is responsible for this and we should never have followed him. That's what Nikki Haley said. We made a mistake. We should never have followed him. She, just on Meet the Press the other day, said that if he runs again, she would not run. Because you know how the media is. They have to ask anybody, are you going to run for president? Will you run for president? Are you going to run for... Like, as if that's, because they need their reality show. You know what I mean? If only they poured their energy into talking about how the American people can't save $400 or how 80% are living check to check, I wish, then, we would be living in a different world. But it's all like, are you going to run? Are you going to burn? Who are you going to be? The same old bullshit questions that really don't... You want to talk about something not affecting people's lives at this point, right? It's ridiculous. So, did he say anything wrong? And, of course, this traitor, whoever this person is, he only has 20 followers. Let me see, is he a... Join November 2021. So-called from Belgium and France. Really? Somebody from Belgium has a lot of interest in American politics. And what? And pro-Kremlin Bullshit. Look at that. Well, you got to wonder. These Russian bots in general are getting more sophisticated by the minute. That's for sure. So a lot of in the olden days, you could identify them by they had newer accounts, and there were other things. They just didn't feel right, the way that the grammar. And like, who is this? You gonna tell me that's this person's picture? No, this looks like a fake account. And what person from Belgium is this interested in American politics? For fascists, right? Anyway, so the Daily Caller, Buttigieg says you don't have to worry about gas prices if you buy an electric vehicle. That's not what he said. But never, ever, ever ask the American dumbass, and I'm talking about the Republicans, to, I don't know, think about the future. Or even, let's connect the dots here. We wouldn't even be in this boat if not for Republicans who never miss the opportunity to keep us chained to these archaic energy systems because they make money for their masters, and they don't give a shit if Earth burns. All they care about is if she chokes first, right? And they could sit on top of their pile of money in their gated communities. It's unreal. They're the ones who took the goddamn solar panels off the White House. Imagine what a different world we'd be in. You see, they never do anything positive for the American people. The only reason government exists in the eyes of the Republican establishment is to siphon money out of the pockets of the dumbasses. The government exists not for we the people or the general welfare or all those liberal age of enlightenment ideals that birthed this country to begin with. That's why they hate this country. They're confused. They're traitors. They have so bastardized the very definition of what freedom is. Freedom. They keep, for years, it's the tediousness of enduring these whiners. Freedom isn't free. When they wouldn't pull a hair for freedom. Freedom isn't free. Yeah, everybody else has to pay the price. Because they want all the benefits of civilization, but none of the responsibilities. Freedom isn't free. These fuckers wouldn't even wear a mask. I hope they get COVID. Please get COVID and go home. Do not go to the hospital. Leave us alone. I'm sick of them. Go to the woods like Ted Kaczynski. Why don't he didn't like the reindeer games either. He didn't like government, and he didn't like having to whatever the hell he didn't like. I don't know. He had a whole manifesto. You have Fox News and OANN. What's the difference? But at least he picked his ass up and went to the woods. He's like, I don't want to play this game. Even though, of course, he sent bombs to people. But we can argue that Republicans have killed more people than Ted Kaczynski could ever hope to. Please. Keeping people stupid, lying to their faces, keeping people divided. Right? It never stops. And all they want to know is when. This is how we know they hate America too, because gas prices are high. You think they give a shit about that? Why the oil and gas industry, and the billionaires in general, have reaped record profits during this pandemic. Why do they need more profits? Is that it? So why don't they do some patriotic duty of their own? Why do they have to jack up prices for people? You know, every time, even this inflation. I wish Biden would do what Nixon did and put a cap on price hikes. I don't know. I know the Republicans would lose their shit as usual, because any attempt to help the American people is met with cries of freedom. They're not free. They're useless idiots. Wait a minute. It's unreal. I was just looking for this video. Where the heck is it? I had this video of Jen Psaki socking it to Ducey and explaining, because that's all Republicans give a shit about. Any opportunity to push the agenda of billionaires, they'll take it. Because it's not really about easing the American people, the burden on the American people. It's not about that in the least. It's about, as Henry Wallace said, tickling, or, well, he didn't say it like that, but what did he say? Exploiting every fissure of disunity, every crack in the common front against fascism. That's what they're there to do. They're not there to help the American people or actually ease the burden of prices at the... That's why they don't want to talk about, like, the jobs reports or any successes in any way, shape, or form. They don't want to talk about that. They'll talk about anything that hurts the American people and exacerbate it, but never offer a solution. Never sit down and offer an actual solution. You know what I mean? If they wanted to actually help the American people, would they be pushing for a keystone like that's their remedy? Let's open the Keystone Pipeline again, as if that's something that's all, going to, that's the fix. That's the fix we need. And as Jen Psaki said, it's not. First of all, there are thousands of gas and oil leases that Joe Biden has approved. In fact, more than Trump in his entire so-called presidency, which, I mean, hello. That's how you know Republicans are full of shit. But that doesn't fit into the narrative. You know what I mean? The narrative of the Democrats are out of touch. Who's out of touch? Somebody, I mean, let's go back to Reagan. Somebody who goes into the White House and ensures that, forget it, what Carter said about the energy crisis is real and that we will never import more oil than we did last year or whatever, getting us away from the Middle East. We wouldn't even, you know how many people would still be alive and who wouldn't have had to die in the Middle East for the, I don't know, Dick Cheney's war of corporate aggression. But, it's not about that. It's about making money for very few people while everybody else suffers and fights over the scraps. Here's Jen Psaki.
Sounds like you guys are blaming Putin for the increase in gas prices recently, but weren't gas prices going up anyway because of post-pandemic supply chain issues?
It's a little low.
Well, I think there's no question that, as we have seen, and outside analysts have conveyed this as well, the increase in the anticipated continued increase, which was, I think, what some of your colleagues were asking.
Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can play that off the computer, because that seems a little low. Maybe this is better. So Steve Ducey, the dumb son of a bitch, asks Jen Psaki about, well,
It sounds like you guys are blaming Putin for the increase in gas prices recently, but weren't gas prices going up anyway because of post-pandemic supply chain issues?
Well, I think there's no question that, as we have seen, and outside analysts have conveyed this as well, the increase in the anticipated continued increase, which was, I think, what some of your colleagues were asking about, that is a direct result of the invasion of Ukraine, and also there was an anticipation of that. That was factored in as gas.
So you say that you're going to do everything that you can to reduce the impact that high gas prices have on Americans. We're asking other countries to think about maybe pumping more oil. Why not just do it here?
Well, to be very clear, federal policies are not limiting the supplies of oil and gas. Let me finish. Let me finish.
His
Peter,
first week,
Shut your dumb mouth.
Let me give you the facts here, and I know that can be inconvenient, but I think they're important in this moment.
Boom.
To the contrary, we have been clear that in the short term, supply must keep up with the demand. We are, and here and around the world, will we make the shift to a secure, clean energy future. We are one of the largest producers with a strong domestic oil and gas industry. We have actually produced more oil. It is at record numbers, and we will continue to produce more oil. There are 9,000 approved drilling permits that are not being used. So the suggestion that we are not allowing companies to drill is inaccurate. The suggestion that is what is hindering or preventing gas prices to come down is inaccurate.
Would President Biden rescind his executive order that halts new oil and natural gas leases on public lands?
Well, 90% of them happen on private lands, as I'm sure you know, and there are 9,000 unused approved drilling permits. So I would suggest you ask the oil companies why they're not using those if there's a desire to drill more.
Would President Biden ever undo his executive order that stopped the construction of the Keystone XL pipeline?
Are you suggesting that would solve the gas prices issue?
Well, do you think that that would maybe affect prices faster than getting the whole country off of fossil fuels?
I actually don't think it would. The Keystone was not an oil field. It's a pipeline. Also, the oil is continuing to flow in just through other means.
Exactly.
So it actually would have nothing to do with the current supply imbalance.
So gas prices are approaching an all-time high per gallon. How high would they have to get before President Biden would say, I'm going to set aside my ambitious climate goals and just increase domestic oil production?
We can't do both, right? We can't. We have to either suck big oil's balls, keeping the theme of tonight, and or we can go forward and get away from fossil fuel, according to Republicans. But this is really about keeping us in bondage to big oil. That's why Republicans are the albatrosses around our necks. Let's continue. But I love what she said. Are you suggesting that that the Keystone XL pipeline will solve our energy or the cost of gas overnight? And reminding him it's a pipeline, not an oil field, you dumb bastard. Or as Joe Biden said, you dumb son of a bitch.
Get the producers to drill more here, and we can address the fossil fuel future later.
Well, again,
always
Peter,
later.
The U.S. produced more oil this past year than in President Trump's first year. Next year, according to the Department of Energy, we will produce more oil than ever before. Those are the facts in terms of oil production. And again, right now there are 9,000 unused approved permits to drill onshore. So I think you're misidentifying what the actual issue is. But if we're looking to the future and what we can do to prevent this from being a challenge in future crises, the best thing we can do is reduce our dependence on fossil fuels and foreign oil, because that will help us have a reliable source of energy so that we're not worried about gas prices going up because of the whims of a foreign dictator.
Right. You guys think that asking Saudi Arabia or Venezuela or Iran is reducing our dependence on foreign oil?
That's actually, I just outlined each of those specific scenarios and the range of discussions that we're having with each of those countries. I don't think anybody is advocating for Iran to continue acquiring a nuclear weapon, perhaps except for the former president who pulled us out of the deal.
Yeah. None of those facts penetrated that dumb bastard's brain, of course. They will continue to lie and gaslight the viewers / victims of faux news. Just like they're what Tucker calls, I mean, they have no shame, these bastards. The Tucker Carlson, Tuckyo Rose, otherwise known as, he's actually out there saying that he can't believe how people accuse him of being a Putin puppet. I'll just play this video.
We have Republicans who are rooting for Russia, and that makes it very hard for President Biden to get the whole country to go along when Donald Trump, Mike Pompeo, and Tucker Carlson are rooting for Russians, and that's being replayed on Russia TV to rally Russians for this cause.
You know, it's such an awful thing to say. We hesitated even to play that. It's very common. You hear it every day. The question is, why are they saying that? It doesn't make sense. But is there...
Can you believe that? That's a clip from Tucker Carlson's show. So he was playing this clip from CNN. And, you know, people are saying exactly the truth. That they're playing Tucker Carlson's clips on Russian TV for propaganda purposes. Tucker Carlson is their favorite American so-called news pundit. And Eric Swalwell, the congressman there, is being interviewed, and he's saying the truth. They're using Tucker Carlson's on Putin, pro-Putin propaganda. So they cut back, and Tucker Carlson says, "Why are they saying this? It's outrageous." But I couldn't even believe it, really. They have no scruples. It's amazing. And they count on the stupidity of the idiots who watch them to, I guess, forget everything that went before for years. For years. Let's play that again.
When Donald Trump, Mike Pompeo, and Tucker Carlson are rooting for Russians, and that's being replayed on Russia TV to rally Russians for this cause.
You know, it's such an awful thing to say. We hesitated even to play that. It's very common. You hear it every day. Common. The question is, why are they saying that? It doesn't make sense.
No
but is there
sense
another reason we should side with Ukraine?
Okay, so then these are clips of Tucker Carlson just recently doing for Putin what Monica did for Bill.
Over Russia. Russia is a much more significant country by every measure. Why is it disloyal to side with Russia, but loyal to side with Ukraine? They're both foreign countries that don't care anything about the United States.
Wow.
Which is the actual threat. Why would we take Ukraine's side? Why wouldn't we on Russia's side? I'm totally confused. Putin so much. Has Putin ever called me a racist? Has he threatened to get me fired for disagreeing with him? Has he shipped every middle-class job in my town to Russia?
Wow.
I should say for the record, I'm totally opposed to these sanctions.
Crazy, right? No wonder. You know what I mean? No wonder this country is swirling the bowl because of these traitors. And I wish the Republicans, this is what makes me mad, besides everything else, is that they fall for it all the time. Why? Because they're racist. Did Putin ever call me a racist? It doesn't matter. If you're being called a racist, you know, look at yourself. Look at yourself. Why is everybody calling you a racist? It's not because we don't have anything else to say about you. We can also call you traitors. And we do, because you are. We call you what you are. If you don't want to be called a racist, stop being a racist. But that's how the the oligarchy that the Republicans are working for. They're not working for democracy. They're working for autocracy. And, right now, they have, like Biden said, a dagger to democracy's throat. And they're looking at Ukraine. It's an inconvenience that the whole world is seeing Trump's best friend, Putin, and all of his tyrannical, well, it's not glory, but the inglorious scumbag that he is. But that's who Putin called. Trump called him what? A genius, savvy, and now he's trying to roll it back. He's been calling Putin, well, let's play this disgrace. Remember this?
President Trump, yes. You first.
2018.
Just now, President Putin denied having anything to do with the election interference in 2016. Every U.S. intelligence agency has concluded that Russia did. My first question for you, sir, is
display.
Who do you believe? My second question is, would you now, with the whole world watching, tell President Putin, would you denounce what happened in 2016, and would you warn him to never do it again?
So let me just say that we have two thoughts. You have groups that are wondering why the FBI never took the server. Haven't they taken the server?
The server? What the fuck is he talking about? Like, as if we live in 1990, Why didn't they take the server? The server? Remember this? I'm sorry to drag you down memory lane with me, I know. It's really annoying and tedious.
Why was the FBI told to leave the office of the Democratic National Committee?
And this is what they do, saying these things that I suppose everybody's supposed to know about what the fuck he's talking about, because we're all supposed to be dumbasses hooked to and glued to OANN, Traitor News Network. Why didn't they take the server? You look over here, you look over there, like nobody's ever seen. If you just got to look in Arizona, you just got to look at Pennsylvania, you got to look at Georgia. Everybody saw it, everybody's seen it. It's a disgrace. So sad for our country. It's really just so bad for the country.
I've been wondering that. I've been asking that for months and months, and I've been tweeting it out and calling it out on social media.
Thank God you can't tweet anymore.
Where is the server? I want to know, where is the server?
That wasn't the question, Traitor.
What is the server saying?
What is the server saying? Why don't you ask him? Can you get another, order of free breadsticks? Ask the server. What is the server saying? What's the specials tonight, server?
Where is the server? I want to know, where is the server, and what is the server saying?
Can I get some more water, server? Do you have a dessert menu? I don't know. Ask the server.
With that being said, all I can do is ask the question. My people came to me, Dan Coates came to me, and some others. They said they think it's Russia. I have President Putin. He just said it's not Russia.
Oh, yes. Well,
I will say this. I don't see any reason why it would be, but I really do want to see the...
Would it be kind of like when he tried to put his puppet in Ukraine, who the Ukrainian people were hankering for democracy, and he had to nip that in the bud. So, he had your campaign manager, the traitor Paul Manafort. Just one traitor amongst a whole group of traitors, a cornucopia of traitors. Well, I don't see why it would be. Well, maybe because he wanted to put his puppet in charge of the United States, and he was successful in 2016 because you're a traitor, and now you're doing everything he wants you to do, traitor, and including embarrassing the United States on the international stage, when I saw this press conference live, and so did many other people. And I've never been more embarrassed for my country until January 6th.
But I have confidence in both parties. I really believe that this will probably go on for a while, but I don't think it can go on without finding out what happened to the server.
Oh, my God.
What happened to the servers
baboon.
of the Pakistani gentleman that worked on the DNC?
What is he talking about? You know what I mean? These people are nuts. That's why nut jobs are attracted to the Republican Party, because they're all a bunch of nuts, but it's worse than that. They realize that. They're greed-centered ghouls. The people in charge understand. They don't give a shit that whether Trump is fit or not. That's why they're all going to vote for him again. He's a means to an end, and that end is the death of democracy, the death of the grand experiment. They've been, for the past this country is less than 250 years old, but since the inception of the country, conservatives have been undermining it. They don't like democracy. And the closer we get to having a more perfect union, and that means a multiracial democratic republic that works for more than just the 1%, like they have in other countries, you know? How do you have that? You have to regulate capitalism. That's how it goes. And they can't stand that, because they're not interesting. They're not innovative. They have no new ideas. They're very underwhelming, and they realize that. So without their privilege and the rigging of the game, where would they be? Where would a Donald Trump Jr. be? Where would a Donald Trump be without his KKK loving daddy? And his trust fund that he bankrupted 6 times before he was 30. The scum. They suck. They suck at business. They suck at being a human. They suck at having human DNA. I don't see why it wouldn't be. And all of the rest of humanity has to, put their head down and hope that they can fly under the radar and make the best out of their lives in spite of all of these scumbags playing with their lives. Even the idiots, even the Fox News dupes. That's why I can't stand them. Besides the fact that they suck. They are pathetic. They fall for it all the time. They don't see that Republicans hate them. You know? They're like, oh, freedom! As they're drinking liberal tears. Well, I'm not drinking conservative tears, besides that they suck. Conservative tears probably taste like shit. I wouldn't want to drink them anyway. We're not trying to drink their tears. We're not traitors. We're patriots. We're trying to ensure that they can have a decent middle-class life, that they get paid a living wage, that they get paid a living wage in decent working conditions that are safe, that they have time off for recreation, for vacation, for illness, that they can have the time off that makes life worth living. And so every day isn't just a struggle. That's the meaning of civilization. That's why we have a civilization. I mean, look at Ukraine. For God's sakes. People just want to have their lives. They want to go home and have their pets and have their loves and have their, play the guitar. Write a poem, make a movie, get together. What the fuck? And these motherfuckers, Trump and his master Putin, none of that matters. It only matters what they want. Everybody else is expendable. That's not the way democracy is supposed to be. This is where the Republicans have it completely wrong and backwards. And they want to ensure it remains that way. That people are like, you asked me to do something for my fellow Americans? Freedom! Fucking bastards.
Where are those servers? They're missing. Where are they?
Oh, my God.
What happened to Hillary Clinton's emails? 33,000 emails.
Benghazi.
Just gone. I
Did
think
she
in
eat
Russia
them?
they wouldn't be gone.
I think in Russia they wouldn't be gone. Well, what happened to all those classified documents? Oh, they're gone. Down the Trump hole. You see, they're such hypocrites and disgraces besides being traitors. They're just disgusting.
Just gone. I think in Russia they wouldn't be gone
Oh,
so
really?
easily. I think it's a disgrace.
Because Russia is so much better. This is the message that Republicans have been pushing out for years. All of them. Traitor Ted Cruz, too. Right? He loves the Russian propaganda. Remember? Oh, maybe it's not good that we have a woke military. As he tweeted out one of Putin's ads, an ad for the military in Russia, which looked like it was right out of the Avengers or something, with these superhuman men, super muscular and out there. They're so susceptible to bullshit. And then you see the reality of what's happening in Russia, right? I mean, in Ukraine, where the Russian soldiers are crying on their phone to their mothers, right? You have the Republican caricature, and then you have the reality of humanity, of human beings being used as pawns. Oh, maybe it's not good to have a woke military. Well, what should we have? They're so full of shit. And the way that because fucking traitor Ted Cruz was, he tweeted this Russian propaganda out in comparison to an ad for the U.S. military that had a young woman and I think she had two females, with two people with the same peepees as parents, and saying, I want to join the military because blah, 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 I can advance my career. And see, because Republicans hate America, hate democracy, lack they lack the maturity to function in a free democratic society, and are so susceptible to propaganda, to fascist propaganda, because they're fascists. They don't understand that the kind of ad that attracts decent people, like the young girl in the ad that was like, oh, I'm going to become a doctor and I want to use my skills to help. And that kind of ad attracts a human being with a higher emotional intelligence and is really somebody that we want in positions of power, especially positions that are entrusted with the power to kill. You don't want your some fucking, immature moron thinking they're joining the Avengers. And if you read that book, Corruptible by Brian Klass, and he lays it all out. The book, here we go. Here comes Junior. Come on, kid. Why, Junior? Why? All right, let's finish up this.
That we can't get Hillary Clinton's 33,000 emails. So I have great confidence in my intelligence people.
Yeah, you sure do. You sound like you do.
I will tell you that President Putin was extremely strong and powerful in his denial today.
I remember when he said that, I was like, why don't you just blow him already? President Putin was extremely strong and powerful in his denial tonight. Really? Or was that what he said to you from behind when he was giving you... He wouldn't even give you a reach around, that's for sure. When he was making you his prison bitch. Unbelievable. Junior, everybody wants to see you. Junior? Hello. Hello, Junior. How you doing? If you join our Discord page... I just put up a video of Tara Jr. as a baby. Tara Jr. Maybe I could play it right here. Let's see. If you're on Discord, yeah, join our Discord, guys. The link is in the description. That's where we stay in touch in between shows. Will you? Oh, here we go. I can't. I said last time that I was going to put you in the bedroom. I might have to do that. Let me show you. Let me show you Tara Jr. as a baby. It's the cutest thing. Let's see. Discord. So this is the Tarabuster Facebook. I mean, not Facebook. Discord page, like I said. Let me lower the volume. You don't need to hear the volume. Look at him. This is Tara Jr. as a baby. Look how cute. He was destroying this banana that was my Tara Jr. the First's toy. I adopted Tara Jr. in one of the worst years of my life, 2010. That year, my mother died. And then exactly 3 months later, my father died. Exactly to the day. And then not exactly to the day, but 3 months later, my cat, Tara Jr. the First, died. And I was so, oh my God, I don't even know how I got through that year. And I remember laying, one day I woke up and I was just enveloped in grief as usual. Just feeling down and I remember waking up and thinking, fuck this. And I was like, I'm going to adopt a kitten. I didn't even wait because it was the weekend after I had to put Tara Jr. the First to sleep because he had kidney disease. And I went to North Shore Animal League and I walked in. And I didn't even see any other animals. I went right to his cage where he was playing with another kitten. And they were both tumbling around. And I said, oh, let me see him. And he crawled up my arm and started licking my face. I kid you not. And I said, that's it. I'm taking this one. And that's it. And I took him home and I remember... The first night, he was so excited. He was running all over the place. He was like running on the floor, running on me, running around like in circles. And I was laying in bed like crying until I finally fell asleep. And when I woke up, he was sleeping right in my arm, the little one. And he really helped me during that time. That's why... Yeah, he'd better stop yelling at me now. But he was really, I just needed that ball of life. You can't stay down when a kitten's around, that's for sure. Isn't he cute? All right, you're cute, but not when you're screaming at me. Let's see, where is it? Look at him. He's just tumbling around. All right, stop. All right, enough of that. All right, Junior. I'm going to have to put you in the bedroom, I think. What do you think? Yes, orange kitties, not orange Trump. We're all for orange kitties. Junior, I think it's bedroom time. Let me see. Let me play. I'm going to have to put some video on while I bring him into the bedroom, because I can't. I can't have him screaming at me. Even though I love him. Let me play. I'll play Tukio Rose again. I'll be right back.
We have Republicans who are rooting for Russia, and that makes it very hard for President Biden to get the whole country to go along when Donald Trump, Mike Pompeo, and Tucker Carlson are rooting for Russians, and that's being replayed on Russia TV to rally Russians for this cause.
You know, it's such an awful thing to say. We hesitated even to play that. It's very common. You hear it every day. The question is, why are they saying that? It doesn't make sense. But is there another reason we should side with Ukraine over Russia? Russia is a much more significant country by every measure. Why is it disloyal to side with Russia, but loyal to side with Ukraine? They're both foreign countries
because you're
that don't care anything about the...
How's that? All right, I'm back. Where are we? Okay, let me see. You guys. Yes. Cute but needy. Exactly. Well, only at this time for some reason. I don't know why. Who is this great? Oh, we have another troll. Let's see how they go. Gracia Kentag? The fuck? Oh, that's the rain. Oh, it's raining out. All right. Yeah, so let me play these other things. I want to just... Fuck. The window's open. All right. I know I'm very distracted tonight with windows and cats and memory lane that sucks. Okay, so right now, the Republicans, on top of being the domestic enemies the founders warned us about, and standing in the way of every positive move the United States has to make to become a more perfect union, they're drumming up this trucker tantrum bullshit. And today, there's no reason to have a trucker tantrum, by the way. Most cities are undoing mandates. So we have to know that it's another case in point that it has nothing to do. It never did have their tantrums have nothing to do with actual reality. They had nothing to do with... Oh, shit. I gotta shut the... I just got an alert on my phone about the weather. Severe weather forecast. All right, let me play this while I shut the window. It's like the show that drives itself. So they're gathering outside of DC, and it has not, like I said, it has nothing to do with mandates. It has to do with them, with the oligarchs and their propaganda outlets stirring up the fissures of disunity. That's it. They see an opportunity to separate the people, as usual, and they're going to use their morons to do it. So, uh-oh. Let me see. What can I play while I do this? One of the morons is Ricky Schroder. We'll start with him. Here he is talking about the trucker convoy. Hold on, it'll start.
This convoy's heading up I-15 to Salt Lake and across southern Wyoming and down through Denver. And I heard about another dozen convoys are formed and are moving. And praise God, because this has got to be the stand we make. We're not livestock. We're not cattle. You know, we can't be treated as such. We're free.
Oh my God.
And purging, you know, law enforcement and purging the military.
This is a case in point. Right here is the example that it's not about mandates. It's this ubiquitous grievance fest. We can't be purging the military. We can't be purging law enforcement. We're free. Shut the fuck up.
That's just the writing on the wall, what they're setting up there. They're setting
What are we setting up?
To set up we the people against our own institutions.
That's what you're doing. We're setting up we the people against our own institutions? What are you talking about? We're in the middle of a fucking pandemic, you moron. We're pushing 1 million dead. So what the fuck? Ricky?
It's in those institutions that will resist them. So we've got to hold the line. And they've got to allow freedom for anybody that wants it. Everybody.
Freedom for anybody who wants it. It's like the Canadian trucker tantrum. And when they had that emergency call, which was something right out of Andy Kaufman, really. It was the funniest thing I ever heard. And they asked, what's the plan here? Well, first we take over the government, eh? And then everybody's free. Oh, sounds like an amazing plan. Everybody's free. Well, you're free now. Go into the woods like Ted Kaczynski. Why are you here? You know, you don't get to drive our roads. You don't get to just do whatever the hell you want in our civilization. You know, there are rules. The light turns red. You gotta stop. You don't go, I'm free, fuck you. You know, I mean, there are rules to civilization so we can all get through this and not needlessly die. That's the point. Republicans don't give a shit who needlessly dies. These people wouldn't even wear a mask. You have grannies making Molotov cocktails in Ukraine, and these people wouldn't even wear a mask. They told Granny to go die. They said Granny would be honored to take one for the economy. Because anything that interferes with their selfishness, and really this is about destroying democracy. That's what it comes down to. These idiots, Ricky Schroder is a useless idiot in the game. The billionaires, they need him. They need him out here so we can all fight each other over the scraps. And the idiots will distract their dupes from looking and pointing their anger and their stupidity of where it belongs. Everybody that wants it should be free. Well, what does that mean, Ricky? What does that mean, you dumb bastard? No, what? You know, he's from Staten Island, which is where I grew up. There's not a coincidence there. There's a lot of dumbasses on Staten Island, I hate to say.
Wants it. Because until we're not free until we're all free from this.
Free from what? You know, we're trying to overcome a pandemic. And we were trying to do it as a country, as other countries have done, you know, unify. But that's terrifying to Republicans. They don't want the people unified. Because that means they're not going to be able to steal. They're not going to be able to use their white privilege, and they're not going to be able to ingratiate the already ingratiated. That's their point. Get Ricky Schroder out here. Get a bunch of assholes with giant flags. like the ISIS flag. That's what they look like, ISIS. There's no difference between them except they're Jesus-y. That's it. You know, ISIS has their sky spook telling them what to do and kill people and Allah and freedom and Allah Akbar. While these idiots are crying, it's the same thing. They are the two sides of the same coin. And what is he talking about? Freedom from all this. Yeah, I'm tired too. I'm tired of you, Ricky, and your stupidity. I'm tired of the tediousness of Republicanism. I really am. If only we could harness that. We wouldn't run out of renewable energy. Forget it. We could run the entire country on Republican tediousness as far as the eye could see for years and years to come. That's a resource that never runs out. God damn it.
And that includes our kids in uniform.
Our kids in
you
uniform.
Gotta back off.
I love these fuckers. Like Trump Jr., he was at CPAC talking about, the woke military and how the military spent 6 million man-hours on making the military woke, which is a lie, first of all. And they know not killing and fighting. These fuckers who never sacrificed a goddamn lunch, much less a day in uniform. And they never would. Oh, our kids in uniform. They don't, make no mistake. Republicans, when they are, giving false praise to the military, as they are wont to do, and the cops, it's not because they love the military and the cops. They love fascism. It's about militarism and autocracy. Like when you watch the clips from Russia and people are out there protesting and the cops are out there beating them. That's what they like. They like oppression. That's why the cops were standing in the way on January 6th. They got their asses beat with poles and sticks and cattle prods and all kinds of, a bear spray. They didn't love the cops then. Thin blue line, what the irony of being beaten with a Blue Lives Matter flag. These filthy fascists. That's what they like. They want, it's just about fascism. It's about keeping people in their place because the autocracy, the illegitimate power structure needs their Praetorian Guard. It's not about protecting and serving or community policing. It's about protecting and serving the 1%. So, excuse me, Ricky. Shove your praise for the military and anybody in uniform. Shove it up your ass, you fake ass fascist prick. Because you don't like the military. You like militarism. You like fascism. That's the game here. And, it is a game. It's annoying that the Republicans, they feed into it all the time. They never, they fall for it all the time.
And drop the mandates. Because we're not going to live like it.
Go away. Go away. God. Drop the mandates. Drop dead. How about that? Drop dead. You drop dead. Like they want to go to, just last month or something, he posted something about he wanted to go to a Foo Fighters concert, but they had a vaccine mandate. And he posted how they were Nazis. Everybody's a Nazi, you know? And everybody's a Nazi who doesn't want to needlessly die. You're the Nazi, Ricky. You are the Nazi.
You're ready to, I guess, kill us all. You better change your minds, because we're not going to live as slaves.
Go away. You're not a slave, you white prick. Oh my God. I'm a slave. I feel like a slave to these morons having to endure sharing the same air with morons. We're not going to live like this. Then don't. Go away. Go to the woods. I don't know how much clearer I can say it. Go to the woods like Ted Kaczynski. Make your own goddamn little community of morons. You can dig your own latrine, and when you fill that up with all your waste, dig another one. You know, dig your well. Make sure your latrine is away from your water source, though. But whatever. You're probably dumb enough, so who knows? And build your own homes. Build your own roads. Make your own internet. Your own series of tubes. And you can all communicate. And no one will kick you off. You know, because you're spreading lies about somebody's latrine is not, I don't know. Somebody took a shit in your hole instead of their own. Do it. Go hunt your own food. I know how you love kill. So, of course, you'll probably just eat a lot of corpses. Go. Just go. Make corpses out of animals and eat. And no FDA inspectors getting in the way of your freedom. No system of plumbing getting in the way of your freedom. No roads, no paved roads. You could do it yourself. Do it yourself. Because when you're driving down the road and that red light comes up and you have to get somewhere, I mean, that's your freedom, man. You're not free. You're told to stop? What the hell? Haven't they ever heard of the spirit of 1776? Run the red light. Run the red light and then speed. Keep speeding as fast as you can. Because you're free. Right? I don't know. I don't get it. Like these truckers, they're riding our interstate highway system. But half of these assholes, wherever backwater cesspool they came from, they'd still be sitting in the dark without, I don't know, FDR's Tennessee Valley Authority that brought electricity to the rubes. You'd still be sitting in the dark, not just sitting in the dark figuratively. You'd still be sitting in the dark literally. But some big government socialist thought that we would have, as a civilization, we had a vested interest in connecting all the communities with this newfangled electricity thingy. It wasn't a private industry, because they don't give a shit. You don't make them money. So why would they run a line to your hovel and your meth lab? You know? They don't need... That's not the free market. They're such tedious dupes. You know? Why don't you go? Go to the woods. You don't have to live in our civilization. You don't have to play in the reindeer games. If you don't like democracy, go to Russia. You love it so much. You're so strong and powerful. Putin's so strong and powerful. No, honey, he's a weak bitch like you are. He's a whiny little bitch like you are, like Hitler was, like Trump is, like all your heroes are. Like Erdogan, all of these fuckers are whiny little bitches who lack the maturity and the humanity to function in a democracy. That's it. That's why they have to keep everybody in their place. You know, like what did that traitor say? That fucking traitor Steve Bannon, who is still walking around. I don't know why. You know, the traitor Steve Bannon said, Putin's not woke. Putin knows what bathroom to go to. Yeah, well, then go. Go to Russia, you traitors. You'll be, I mean, you're comfortable there. That's you, but we don't want that here. You go. I mean, there's vast land in Russia. Go. You can go live in the woods there. Dig your cesspit and swim in it. We want to be free. Look at this fucking idiot.
To a society that is godless.
And here we go. Here we go. And this is what it comes down to. Because they lack the fundamental ability to function in a democracy. This is what it's about. They want an autocracy like the fascists, you know, Gott mit uns. They always talk about God. Gott mit uns, guys.
So, anyway, God bless the convoy as it moves out in the morning. I'll see you guys in Springville, Utah at 7 or 8 p.m. when you get there. And then I'm going to ride with you guys. And free America. Free America from
free
this medical tyranny.
Medical tyranny. Go away. You know who's... it's really tyrannical when you can't breathe. And you're dead. And then the families, forget about it. Half the families, you know, all of a sudden they had a father, a mother. Now what happened? They're orphans. Oh, it's the tyranny. The tyranny of being a part of a civilized community that gives a shit about each other. When asked the simplest... I mean, I wonder if this little asshole, Ricky... well, I don't have to wonder. I know he had so many vaccines just to go to school here in the United States in this tyrannical system. I don't know why he only recently awakened to the tyranny of vaccine mandates. This is why I'm pissed at them too. If you're, okay, be free. Go to the woods like Ted Kaczynski. I think Ted Kaczynski's cabin, well, no, it's not there any longer. I think they removed it. But you could build a cabin just like his. Live off the fat of the land. Like I said. But you're hypocrites. You're like babies, you know. The babies don't understand how everything works. They're like, Mommy, Mommy, Mommy. I wanna, you know, whatever it is. I want a Cabbage Patch doll. I'm showing my age. I don't know what the latest thing is. They don't understand. Well, Mommy has a lot of bills, bitch. Mommy has to keep a roof over your head. I didn't understand that when I was little either. I didn't understand the financial constraints my parents were under. You don't understand that. You're just like, no fair, Mommy. That's babies, toddlers, but you grow up. Not them, not Republicans. That's why they're like, we want to be free, Mommy. Don't put me, I don't want any tyranny. Even though, let me see, how many vaccines? Vaccine mandate schools? I mean, I know it's a lot. I remember when going to college, I needed a whole other bunch of vaccines. Oh, and he loves the troops. Oh, forget about that. All the vaccine mandates, not just COVID. I can't even tell you how many shots I had to get in the military. They didn't even tell you. You line up, and they're like, next. You just walk like this. Boom, boom. And someone's standing there. Bink, bink, bink. And you're getting hit with every other vaccine that who knows? I don't know what they hit us with. So, yeah, all those, it's not he's saying, oh, you're purging our great military because they don't want the COVID vaccine. Well, they got a lot of other vaccines. Then get the fuck out then. Because if you're not a team player, get out. You don't want the vaccine? Get the fuck out. There were no religious exemptions. No. Then you know what they do? They drum your ass right out of there. As they should. But no, the Republicans, they're like, they have this, their agenda is to spread the notion that freedom means not giving a shit about anybody else but yourself. Yes, nature's vaccine. I have immunity. I have an immune system. Let's go on to Reddit, the Herman Cain Awards. Natural immunity. Every day there's a new recipient of the Herman Cain Awards. Like, here's one. This California woman had a lot to say about COVID-19 and vaccine conspiracies. Her friend in purple tried to reason with her, but in the end, the virus, with the 99% survivability rate, so she said, won. Here, look. Another one with the Nazi shit. This is the woman who died, who received the what do you call it, Herman Cain Award today. Just do what you're told. Don't be selfish. It's for everyone's safety. Stop being paranoid. Is the same thing. And those who are on the podcast, there's a picture of Nazis putting people into a train car, telling them, just do what you're told. Don't be selfish. It's for everyone's safety. Stop being paranoid. I'm sure that's exactly what the Nazis said. Right? Whatever. It doesn't matter how stupid they are. They know nothing about Nazis anyway, because they are Nazis. That's, why would they learn about Nazis? Because they're Nazis. Let's see. What is this? Oh, here's all of the articles the idiot shared. This poor, well, she is an idiot. She's dead. She's a COVID-idiot. Let me get this out of the way. She's a COVID-idiot. And all of the misinformation she spread. Well, she's not spreading anything anymore. See? He throws up his devil signs. A picture of Dr. Fauci moving his hands. And that's like somebody wrote me or posted one time. I guess I did this. I made an OK symbol. And they said I was throwing up white power symbols. Why are you throwing up white power? I'm not. Because I'm not. I don't know. Well, she doesn't have to worry about it anymore. Sign the petition. No vaccine mandate. Yes, and there's that. Who's this guy? Oh my God. Another one. One of the Republicans. He's an incel, probably a pedophile. I don't know. I'm just getting those vibes. With Biden in the background. Yes. No vaccine we want to control you. That's what it's about. No one wants to control you. No one wants you. I want you. If I could control you. Oh, wait, let me move this. See? That's Photoshop. Okay. If I could control you. It's my friend's dog. Okay. I would make you move to the woods, frankly. You know what I mean? If I could control Republicans, I would just want you to go to the woods and live free. Like the wilderness family. Just be free. You don't need anybody telling you what to do, telling you stop when the red light comes on or stop at a stop sign. What if you're in a hurry? Right? You're free. The founders didn't stop at stop signs. There was no stop sign. George V, he wanted them to stop. But the founders were like, no. We will not stop. And you shouldn't stop too at stop signs or red lights. Forget it. And they condition you with orange lights to start slowing down. Right? I mean, then they say go. Green means go. Who said that? Who said green means go? That's kind of, it's like some Illuminati shit. Green means go. Orange means stop. Now everybody thinks red means stop. Who said that? And red, is that a coincidence? Red, stop, and then Republicans are red? Okay? I'm just saying, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but there's I'm just informed. Read for yourself. Look at it yourself. Go on Facebook yourself. And see how conditioned everybody is to stop on red and go on green. You're right, because green is close to blue. And you'll see, this is all about conditioning. When now, don't be surprised when they start making green more like blue. So then you start thinking, oh, blue is go, and blue is Democrats, and red is stop, and red is Republicans. And, you know, I just started reading this myself. I just went online. I did my own research. And I finally saw. I don't know. There's so many sheep around here who just do what they're told when the red light comes on. I'm not going to be a sheep. I'm free. You know, the founders, they were like, freedom, and no one had a stop sign or a red light. They knew when to stop, and they knew when to go, and they trusted each other. Trust me. You know, Democrats, they think they know better. These progressives, these people who always stop at the red light. They think they know better. They do. They think they know better than us. But who knows better when to go and when to stop than you do? You know? Let my children breathe, I say to the school. And then I say, let my children drive a car and go when they want to go. Why do kids... I mean, if these kids are expected to sit all day in a classroom with a mask on, and we don't allow them to drive cars, that's tyranny. My kids, they want to be free. I'm free. I never stop at a stop sign. And my kids, if I had them, they would be free too. And I think your kids should be free. Let them drive a car. All kids should drive. Who is the government, the tyrannical Nazi government, telling kids that they have to be 18 to drive a car? And then not only that, they have to pass a test? Where do these tests come from? You know, they had so many tests in Nazi Germany. You had all kinds of tests, religious tests, tests about your heritage, ethnicity. That's just not, that's free. That's not freedom. You can't have kids free. And then if they want to drive a car, if their little legs are long enough to hit the gas pedal, who are we to say they can't drive a car? What kind of world is this? What kind of country is this? This is an exceptional country. It's supposed to be exceptional. Never mind that other countries don't have people, kids driving. We're different here. We don't have health care here either because we're free. Why should we have kids not driving cars? Why? They should drive trucks. They have self-driving trucks. Why don't kids drive trucks? Put kids in a self-driving truck and be free and put them and just make them go across the country, and then they can join the caravan. Because they're, you know, who wants a woke bunch of kids at home? Not driving, going to school, watching their mommy, their Nazi mommy and Nazi daddy stop at stop signs. What kind of conditioning is that? I'm going to keep going with this because it's ridiculous. You see how stupid they are? What is the difference, I have to ask? What's the difference with what I'm saying and what they're saying? There is none. They pick and choose their fucking stupid outrages du jour. And it's not even du jour. What's the word for du second? There's rules to society, you stupid Republicans. And like I said, you don't have to play in the reindeer games. You all are free to pick your stupid, tedious asses up and move to the woods. Or where? Maybe move to a desert island. Or the tundra. Move out of society, civilization. No roads, no nothing. Get the fuck out. Like Ricky Schroder, though. You want all the benefits, but none of the responsibilities, none of the rules, none of the things that we the people put in place. So none of us have to needlessly die. But it's always somebody else who has to needlessly die until it's them. Like this idiot. And then I saw online an article about because I Googled Herman Cain Awards, and it's people were, of course, it's mean. Oh, the Herman Cain Awards is what's wrong with us. Really? Oh, because, Republican, both sides, of course, and Republicans are just supposed to be able to be the tedious albatrosses around our national necks. We're supposed to endure their tantrums constantly and not supposed to point it out. The hypocrisy. Oh, these are people who are being misinformed. They're willfully misinformed. Why are they misinformed? They're choosing to be misinformed because people are trying to tell them. Everyone from the top, from the goddamn President Biden, not their con man, on down, telling them, families, friends, community, the news, society, other countries, the mainstream media, all trying to tell, well, except for Fox News, trying to tell them not to die needlessly, how to protect themselves and their family. They choose not to because they consume stupidity like it's going out of style. Unfortunately, it's not. It's alive and well in the Republican Party. So, yeah, be mean. We're so mean, both sides. No. I'm pointing it out because I'm sick of them. They're the ones who are dragging us into the cesspool down with them. I'm so tired of their whining, and everybody, we're supposed to be like, let them act like assholes. Point it out to them. Ricky Schroder, asshole. You don't want to wear a mask? Good. But that doesn't mean that you get to go into, now things are open, but at the time, you don't get to do whatever the fuck you want. If you don't want to play, just like you couldn't go to public school if you didn't get your vaccinations. Not at all. And I know you went to public school because I was there, you stupid bastard. Ugh, I remember him as a kid. Ugh. Because I grew up on Staten Island around the same time. And he was like a big deal at the time because he was in that movie. No, wait, what the fuck? And I'm just cursing away. It doesn't matter anymore. I remember, I have this image of him getting out of a limo, a white limo, in front of IS-24. So he went to public school. He's a little prick, a little whiny prick. So, let me see, how many, let's see, how many shots did you have to get before? Let me see. I should have this off the top of my head. How many shots, vaccines required for school? Let's see. School vaccination requirements. This is from the New York City website. Of course, it's different in other states, but Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken, they used to boast that they had the highest vaccination rate. That was one of their things. One of these red states, I know. So let's see. Vaccines are required for daycare, pre-K, and school attendance. Diphtheria, tetanus, hepatitis B, measles, mumps, rubella, polio, of course, chickenpox, Tdap vaccine for grades 6 to 12, meningococcal conjugate vaccine for grades 7 to 12. And in grade 12, students need a booster of this vaccine. Haemophilus Haemophilus? I think I dated that girl. Haemophilus over here. Influenza type B. Fumacacaca. Conjuntivitis vaccine. Yeah, that's just off the top of that. I think it's like 16 vaccines or something. You see how much they suck? Anybody? Yeah. Oh, thank you, Barry, for your super chat. I apologize. I haven't been to the chat room in a little bit. I'm here now. Yes. Paradew says, haha, we hurt their fifis. Real good. Yes, we'll be nicer. Exactly. God. Well, that's it. You're never supposed to point out how Republicans are the albatrosses around our national necks. You're just supposed to let them have their tantrums, and then we all have to, I guess, go back to having to, or trying to have a civilization in spite of them, as they lie and whine and divide the country with their lies and their whines. Let's see, what was Ricky saying? It's really going nuts out there. It was like very nice today. Now it's madness. Let me get to the end of it.
From this medical tyranny.
Yeah, save
and
us.
These corrupt leaders.
Yeah, corrupt.
Who are bankrupting us and our children's futures.
Oh my God, just shut up with everything. It's a cornucopia of Republican grievance that makes no sense.
So, if you guys don't want this, end the mandates immediately. End the mandates for everybody.
Yeah, they are ended, you dumb asshole.
God bless the United States of America.
Oh my God.
And God bless all of you. And I'll see you on the road.
Why don't you masturbate into a flag like
In
Trump?
Jesus' name, amen.
In Jesus' name, amen. Well, Ricky, you tedious bore, you ignorant slut, Ricky Schroder. Then, because he is a feckless, filthy, disgusting Republican, and not a human, he's more like a pest. You know, like when a mosquito gets in your room at night and you're like, get away, and it kind of buzzes. You just want to get rid of it. That's who they are. So he went to the Eisenhower Museum with his camera, just like he did a couple of months ago. Remember, he went to Costco and he started berating people. Let me see if I can find that. Ricky Schroder. Was it Costco? Yeah, he went to Costco. First, we'll play the Costco.
What's your name? My name is Jason.
And what do you do here?
I'm a supervisor, front-end supervisor.
And why aren't you letting me in?
Because in the state of California and the county of Los Angeles, there has been and Costco, there's been no change to our mask policy. Not in the state of California or in the county of Los Angeles.
Didn't you see the news? You didn't see the news. Nationwide Costco has said you don't need to wear a mask.
Oh my God.
Actually, that's not accurate.
What is accurate?
So what is accurate is that Costco always goes above and beyond when following the law. And the mandate in California has not changed. There does seem to be the possibility that in June, by mid-June, that's a date that California, I know,
if they allow us, if they grant us that, our kings, the people in power.
Oh my God. Yeah, the people that we voted for in our representative democracy. You dumb waste of human DNA. Because if you don't like that, our kings, they're not kings. You stupid fuck. Just because you don't like it, baby, right? You're a baby. I don't like everything that goes on. I didn't like Trump wiping his ass with the Constitution. I didn't like Trump doing everything, ticking off Putin's wish list and virtually filleting him on the international stage and being a traitor. I didn't like that. The kings? Oh. They're so misinformed, but also loud and annoying. I wish they would shut up.
See these people?
Well, I know
they've destroyed our economy.
Well,
they're
so
destroying our culture. They're destroying our
Everything's
state.
destroyed. I wish they would destroy it enough for you to stay home. All right. And then he berated this person. This is what people want to do, right? They go to their jobs, their low-paying, shitty jobs, and they have to endure Ricky Schroder and various Republicans trying to make a name for themselves on YouTube. embarrassing themselves. While, today Ricky Schroder was getting some notice on Twitter, but people were trending Jason Bateman because Jason Bateman was his co-star in one of the, I guess, Silver Spoons they were in together when they were young. And obviously Jason Bateman is having a better career. He's not out there harassing Costco employees on YouTube and joining with a trucker tantrum about mandates that don't exist.
I see. And you're just going to listen to their rules.
Well, what we are going to do...
Like I said, you're going to listen to their rules. And then Ricky got in his car that was made to standards because of the dumbass government. He did an auto company didn't just throw together a couple of wheels and some bullshit and rubber bands and sell him a car at whatever price they could. It had to be built to a certain standard that was safe, and he probably put on his seatbelt. Another thing that the fascists went nuts about after there were seatbelt laws because people were sick of peeling corpses off the road, and so that became standard in every car. And of course we know the history shows how they went nuts about that too. I mean, everything. Every time we try to make a more perfect union, the Republicans poop their diapers. But you see how they don't realize the hypocrisy of them getting in their cars, putting on their seatbelt, driving at a certain pace, stopping at the stop sign, stopping at the stoplight, putting on their blinker. You know what I mean? On a road that was built by somebody else. You know what I mean? They're so goddamn tedious. God. And everything, even like going to the store, buying food, has to be sold to a standard. You can't buy something and it's infested with parasites or whatever. Things are supposed to be to a certain standard because this is a civilization and human beings are interdependent. So we live together. We need each other. But Republicans, they don't want to play. They don't want any of those responsibilities. Because stopping at a light, that's a responsibility we have to each other. Driving at a certain speed, that's because we have a responsibility to each other. They don't seem to get how stupid they are. But we all have to endure this. Why don't the Democrats... Enough, please, Democrats, if you're listening to me, I wish you would. Please become a patron, all right? At patreon.com/TaraDevlin, all right? Before I lose before I lose whatever is left of my motivation. But, come on. Would some Democrat, would you stop playing nice with these assholes and finally spank them legally and peacefully? It's sort of like you get to a limit. How many times you got to put these fuckers in? It's not even that they're putting them in timeout. They're like, okay, Johnny, now we have to behave this way. It's like you have to model behavior for them as they're sitting there with spitballs. It's not working. They don't even get to go to detention. The party of personal responsibility. They don't... No responsibility to anybody else but themselves and the 1%. They're dupes. Okay, let's keep going.
Simply follow the guidelines.
Okay. I'm getting my refund. I'm getting my refund from Costco. I suggest everybody in California get their refund from Costco. Give up your membership to Costco until they remove this.
I wonder if he did.
Okay, well, this hasn't changed in any building in California, in any company that I'm aware of. The places I shop still require masks. But that's not the point. The point is Costco is simply abiding by the law, and that's the law.
There's my refund. You're the manager?
I'm the manager.
Okay, I'm suggesting everybody in California get a refund from Costco.
Good.
Until this rule is lifted.
Oh.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Oh, well, you know, because he's a piece of dirt, Ricky Schroder, and that's all he has. He obviously has too much time on his hands. You know, he's not out there making the world safe for democracy. He's out there harassing average Joe working class people. And then it became, I guess, he got a little bit of a backlash. I don't know why. And he apologized. Come on, where is it?
Definitely had some things on my mind and wanted to go over them with you.
Ugh.
Give you some context, perhaps, of why I'm saying the things I'm saying. And
oh, my God.
definitely had some things on my mind and wanted to go over them with you. Give you some context, perhaps, of why I'm saying the things I'm saying and behaving the way I am.
You're behaving like a moron. Whatever.
Yeah, look how it used to feel like when we all felt safer in the 80s.
Oh, yeah, I remember this now. He was going on about how everything was better in the 80s.
On the edge of safety.
Shut your hole, you dumb.
Same thing in Santa Monica last night. Do you remember how it used to feel in LA? It was safe.
Shut your hole. No. Go away. Go to the Unabomber's cabin.
Housekeeping stuff. Got some notes here.
He made notes on sticky paper.
I want to talk about why it's important that we back the blue.
Oh my God, I remember. You back the blue until you're beating them over the head.
Intervention.
Anyway, whatever. That's his rambling. Let's not go there anymore, I suppose. But he supposedly apologized to the Costco worker. He should apologize to his own DNA for being so disappointing. So anyway, here he is at, where is this? Oh, so he wanted to go into the Eisenhower Museum. And in keeping with the Republicon tradition of harassing workers and trying to make YouTube videos out of it. Here it goes.
Masks are required. Sir, I don't make the rules, sir. I just have to enforce.
So we're at the Eisenhower Museum.
Yes, you are.
And I can't visit. My name's Ricky Schroder. I drove over here to visit.
My name's Ricky Schroder. And there's not even a blink. Okay, I'm Bob. My name is Ricky Schroder. Oh, my God. Excuse me, sir. Can I help you, sir? I'm so sorry. We'll get rid of all mask mandates for the Eisenhower Museum promptly, sir. If this was a story told by Trump, that would be how it would go. Yes, sir, sir. Everybody calls him sir in his fantasies.
And you're telling me
you can't come in?
I can't come into this museum.
Yeah, can you believe it?
Without a mask. Whose rule is this?
It's the National Archives and Record Administration's rule.
It's the federal government's rules.
Yes.
Evil federal government.
Oh, he had to think there for a minute. Evil federal government. Well, fuck off then. Go to Russia. Go to the woods. There are solutions, Ricky. Evil federal government. Fuck off. Do you hear what I'm saying, guys? They hate America. Well, what's federal government? That's the government the founders fought a revolution to entrust to us. Because when they fought the revolution, they overthrew the intergenerational aristocracy and monarchy on the inspiration of the liberal age of enlightenment. And they realized, these United States bullshit, this isn't working. We have to have a federal government, the strong federal government, because we can't get anything done with everyone working at cross purposes. And that's what would happen. So, no, we tried that, Ricky, and it wasn't a long time after. It was the same people who set up the government. So the evil federal government was set up by the founders. You dumb, whiny, white, little prick embarrassment to human DNA.
Right? That's your opinion. That is my opinion.
Yeah, okay, bye.
God's laws are higher than the federal government's.
Well, that's why we don't live in Afghanistan. Saudi Arabia, you scumbag. That's why the founders put up a wall of separation between church and state. Okay? Because, God was used by the aristocracy for millennia to keep people dumb and divided. Just like you're doing now, Ricky.
Enforce man's laws. Yes, we are. Not God's laws.
You hear what he said? You're gonna wait. Sorry. You're gonna enforce man's laws, not God's laws. Yeah, that's his job. That's what he's paid to do. You want to go talk about God's? Go to the woods, Ricky. Go to the woods. You can have God's laws there. Then you'll have to be under the laws of God. No internets, no nothing. You get cold, you light a fire. Go.
Than the federal government's. But you're going to enforce man's laws. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Not God's laws. Correct, sir. I don't know if it's God's law or man's law. All I know, it's our boss. That's right. You don't know God.
Oh, how dare you.
God bless. Yeah, I do know God. God bless. Dwight D. Eisenhower, the man who defeated the Nazis, and you've become one.
Ugh, how that person contains himself. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the security guard. Have to be harassed by this useless person. You're a Nazi. You, please. If we were Nazis, you'd already be in a camp, Ricky. We wouldn't be enduring your bullshit. Every time. We try to unify the country, come together under a crisis. We have these fucking useless idiots. Everybody's a Nazi. They're the Nazis. These are the Nazis. If this were in the 30s in the United States, they'd be in the German-American Bund. They'd be marching down Fifth Avenue with the rest of the Nazis. You better believe it. They would be the ones cheering Hitler. Look at all the order. They don't have any unions there. Everybody knows what bathroom to go to. They know God's law. Look, even they have belt buckles and other accoutrements that say "Gott mit uns" on it. So, hey, it's good for business. Whatever's good for business is good for them. For straight acting white men who think they're operating under God's laws. Fucking dupes. Look at he kicks himself out. Goodbye. Nobody's missing you. No one wants you there. That's the thing about Republicans and conservatives in general. Does a conservative ever add to a situation? Do they ever bring value to a situation? Does anybody ever say, "Oh, great, Ricky Schroder's here"? I'm talking about a decent place where normal people congregate. No one's ever like, "Oh, great," or they're never like, "Oh, please come back, Ricky." Come back. Where are you going? You were just lecturing us on freedom and Nazism. Being a Nazi. Well, which I want now if you're walking around, if you're wearing a mask and some fucker is like, take your mask off. There's no mandate. You say, my body, my choice. I'm free. What are you talking about? You're not going to tell me what to do. I'm free. You're not going to tell me what to wear over my face. Oh, God. I hope they all get COVID.
Well, folks, you see what happened?
Yeah.
The federal government said I can't go into the Dwight D. Eisenhower Museum.
Jason Bateman is now looking over scripts for Ozark Season 4. And this is what Ricky Schroder's up to.
That's his boyhood home.
Yeah, Eisenhower. Can you imagine? The Eisenhower, the last legitimately elected Republican, well, when they were Republican president. And there's a quote, I'm trying to find it. Eisenhower, he's the one that said that Republicans that want to privatize socialist security and give everything to the rich, they're stupid. And here's a quote. I have just one purpose, and that is to build up a strong, progressive Republican Party in this country. If the right wing wants a fight, they're going to have to get it. Either this Republican Party will reflect progressivism, or I won't be with them anymore. Yeah, that's Dwight Eisenhower. See, there used to be progressive Republicans, just like there were progressive Democrats and conservative Democrats, and Jesus Christ. Now, in order to be a Republican, Republicanism is synonymous with fascism. That's it. As you can see. And it's all in the guise of freedom. Freedom.
That's his library. The man who defeated the Nazis.
Yeah, and, the day of days.
And look what's become of our country.
Oh, look at what's become of the country. The man who sent many, I don't know how many died in the beaches of Normandy off the top of my head, but inspired and ordered men to storm the beaches of Normandy, and many of them lost their lives in the fight against tyranny. When you wouldn't even wear a mask to save Granny. So keep Eisenhower's name out of your mouth, traitor. You tedious toddler traitor. You're a Nazi. You're a Nazi.
The man who fought the Nazis.
You're a Nazi. He would fight you. What do you think Eisenhower would think of him? He would say, oh my God, shut your traitor mouth and wear a mask.
God bless the United States of America.
No. Not
God
with you in it.
God bless this movement.
Movement. That's what it feels like. It feels like a movement that just won't move out of our bowels. It's a movement in the bowels of our body politic. That's the Trumpanzees.
In Jesus' name, we need to fight for freedom again.
Away.
Amen.
Fight for freedom again, because that's what the founders wanted. Jesus in Jesus' name. They're so misguided. Here's Michael Flynn speaking of how much they hate America.
You read all these things. You study the history of this country. You study how it was founded.
Well, why don't you try that sometime, Michael Flynn?
That's why the word creator is in the Constitution 4 times.
It's not in the Constitution, by the way. This is how stupid they are.
4 times.
It is not in the Constitution. It's in the Constitution. You know how many times, guys? The word creator is in the Constitution? 0.
Right, we are endowed by our Creator.
That's not the Constitution.
The Bill of Rights. When you look at the Bill of Rights, I want you, next time you look at the Bill of Rights, in fact,
would be the first time, I guess.
Go home, look at the Bill of Rights and lay the 10 Commandments right down next to them. Okay? Put them right next to each other. And you'll get a sense of how they developed the Bill of Rights.
No, bitch. You're wrong. You're a traitor. You're one of these demon-haunted ghouls who hates America. That's why you were in bed with all of these dictators and undermining the very principle of this country by you wanted to kidnap a resident alien and take him back to the autocrat who was paying you. You wanted to sneak this person out of the country, kidnap him against his will so this autocrat could murder him. And you're a traitor. You wrote all kinds of articles praising this autocrat, never exposing the fact that you were in his employ. You didn't register as a foreign agent. You lied to the FBI when they asked you about it. And you're a traitor. You had to admit it. You pled guilty. Because you're a traitor. You were pardoned. Who needs pardons? Unless they're guilty. You're a traitor. And it never stops. And yeah, here's where is it? Flynn. Oh yeah, here's Flynn talking about a coup.
I'm a simple Marine. I want to know why what happened in Myanmar can't happen here.
You're a simple Marine? Simple meaning dumb, but okay. That's not Michael Flynn for those on the podcast. That's someone asking him the question. Why we can't have a coup that happened in Miami, I can't say it, but Myanmar. Myanmar. And they were all cheering. Yeah, well, of course, we had a coup, an attempted coup, and you're all a bunch of traitors, and they want to put that traitor back in office, the chief traitor, because they're all traitors. I mean, come on.
Yeah. No reason. I mean, it should happen here. No reason. That's right.
It should happen here. No reason. And then he denied ever saying that, by the way. Here's another example of Michael Flynn being a traitor.
And they're talking about the United States of America. Talking about the United States of America, because when Matthew mentioned it in the Bible, he wasn't talking about the physical ground that he was on. He was talking about something in the distance. So if we are going to have one nation under God, which we must, we have to have one religion, one nation under God and one religion under God, right? All of us together, working together.
Oh, yeah, sounds great. We all need one religion, one nation, one religious, together. All of us working together for freedom in Jesus' name. Amen. And everybody will know what peepees will look like and what to dress their peepees in. And everybody will know the bathrooms, what to go to, because we will be free. Right? We'll all be free. Sick. Oh, well, freedom of religion? In the Constitution, by the way, you dumb traitor. And you see, they speak with such conviction, right? In the Constitution, the word creator is in there 4 times. And tell me, how many morons are going to go around repeating that? I swear, It's in the Constitution. Don't even tonight when you go home and you read it for the first time. Put it right next to your Bible. Jesus Christ. Which is not what the founders were talking about. Hold on a second. Put it right next to your Bible. Here's some of the dumbasses at the trucker tantrum. Here's this insane lady they interviewed.
Are you really concerned about right now?
I don't want them to digitize us.
You don't want them what?
To digitize us. I don't want to take medicine that'll hurt people.
What was the word you used though? I haven't heard that.
Digital. Digital.
Digital? And what does that mean?
They're trying to make us robots. They're trying to make it where we have no choice and nothing, to where they can control us from what they put in our bodies.
And eventually we'll actually be robots?
According to what they're saying. Not robots, but according to what they've already got a full man-made working female robot.
Oh my God. You understand? It's not... These people are not normal. Here's another one. Where's this other guy? There's a bunch of them. But here's just a couple. Here.
Is this a crusade? Yeah, I believe it's a people's crusade.
For those on the podcast, it's a guy who looks like he's dressed like a crusader. All right. You make of that what you will, which is basically they're talking about exactly what Michael Flynn was advocating. One God, one religion, everyone, together. Except everyone who's not on board with their Jesus and their tyranny and their, everybody who actually wants to be free.
Doesn't, it can be peaceful, but, it's a crusade in the fact that people have to fight the evil in the world, man. And the evil is you're heading down to the evil in the world, and people have to band together and fight on the side of the Lord. God wills it, man.
Fox wanted to do a story on dissent in the ranks here. But God told him to fuck off. Never mind.
Look at these people. They don't look like not only do they not look like the brightest bulbs, they don't look like the healthiest. This lady, women or females, digitals.
Are you really concerned about right now?
I don't want them to digitize us.
Digitalis? Is that like Cialis? Isn't that like it's like an erectile dysfunction drug? I don't want no digitalis in my Cialis.
To digitize us. I don't want to take medicine that'll hurt people.
Oh yeah, no medicine. She's not on like 10 different diabetes drugs, right? No. She's not on, whatever. God. Let me see. Here, just a little history. All right. Starting in the 16th, there's a little bit about the liberal age of enlightenment. Starting in the 1600s, European philosophers began debating the question of who should govern a nation. As the absolute rule of kings weakened, Enlightenment philosophers argued for different forms of democracy. In 1649, a civil war broke out over who would rule England, Parliament, or King Charles I. The war ended with the beheading of the king. Shortly after Charles was executed, the English philosopher Thomas Hobbes wrote Leviathan, a defense of the absolute power of kings. The title of the book referred to a leviathan, a mythological whale-like sea monster that devoured whole ships. Hobbes likened the Leviathan to government, a powerful state created to impose order. Hobbes began Leviathan by describing the, quote, state of nature, where all individuals were naturally equal. Every person was free to do what he or she wanted to do to survive. As a result, everyone suffered from continued fear and danger of a violent death, and the life of man was solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. This is all from an article from something called the Constitutional Rights Foundation. In the state of nature, there were no laws or anyone to enforce them. The only way out of this situation, Hobbes said, was for individuals to create some supreme power to impose peace on everyone. Hobbes borrowed a concept from English contract law, an implied agreement. Hobbes asserted that the people agreed amongst themselves to lay down their natural rights of equality and freedom and give absolute power to a sovereign. The sovereign, created by the people, might be a person or a group. The sovereign would make and enforce the laws to secure a peaceful society, making life, liberty, and property possible. Hobbes created this agreement called the social contract. Hobbes believed that the government headed by a king was the best form, and that the best form that the sovereign could take. Placing all power in the hands of a king would mean more resolute and consistent exercise of political authority. Hobbes argued. He also maintained that the social contract was an agreement only among the people and not between them and the king. Once the people had been given their absolute power to the king, they had no right to revolt against him. Hobbes warned against the church meddling in the king's government. He feared religion could become a source of civil war. Thus, he advised that the church become a department of the king's government. See, this is what they want, which would closely control all religious affairs. You know, everybody together, one religion, one unity, just like a big old happy bunch of people, except everybody who isn't on board goes to a camp and or dies. Or lives a life of conformity where they pretend. Just that's what happens in the Republican Party. In any conflict between divine and royal law, Hobbes wrote, the individual should obey the king or choose death. But the days of absolute kings were numbered. A new age with fresh ideas was emerging, otherwise known as the liberal age of enlightenment. Enlightenment thinkers wanted to improve human conditions on earth rather than concern themselves with religion in the afterlife. These thinkers valued reason, science, religious tolerance, and what they called natural rights, life, liberty, and property. Enlightenment philosophers John Locke, Charles Montesquieu, and Jean-Jacques Rousseau all developed theories of government in which some or even all the people would govern. These thinkers had a profound effect on the American and French revolutions and the democratic governments they produced. That's just... Then this whole article goes on and talks about the different philosophers and their writings and how they, from what perspectives what they advanced and advocated for. Locke was noted as the reluctant Democrat, Montesquieu the balanced Democrat, and Rousseau the extreme Democrat. So, if I had more time, I'd read the whole thing, but that's where we came from. Oh, what is this shit? We got another fucking bot on here? What is that about, man? I guess the bots are a sign of success? But they all come in with the same, not all of them, but, I guess it's a link? Yeah, five bots. Right, Jim? 5 bots in a row. Well, anyway, will they become a patron? At patreon.com/Tara Devlin? You think? Well, there's many more things I wanted to talk about tonight. Let me just read this since we were talking about the trucker tantrum. Maybe we'll have a show tomorrow. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. It's up to you. If somebody becomes a patron tomorrow, all right, I'll do a show. How's that sound? If not, I'll see you when I see you. Okay. People's Convoy truckers struggle to defeat DC traffic on the Beltway. This is from the Daily Beast. The 30-mile right-wing flotilla failed to make much of an impression on the outskirts of the capital. My God. But look, there's some pictures. Who needs who? Freedom ain't free. They're so embarrassing. Get off my highway. And look, the idiots on the overpass with their Made in China flags, their Trump flags. Oh, God. Stop embarrassing us. Stop giving Putin more propaganda. Here's one truck. The Matrix is real. Take the red pill. Mandates equal slavery. End slavery now. Yeah, you're such a slave. Tell those on ventilators about slavery. They'd like to breathe without a ventilator. But unfortunately, because of you, they can't. Where is this? Oh, here's something actually I wanted to point out, which I forgot to mention. Oh, where is it? That's why I need patrons. Besides everything else. So somebody can fumble for these articles while I'm, doing the other shit. Talking and such. Talking. All right. There was something on the Twitter stream because, what's his face? The traitor Steve Bannon, who's still out there spreading big, his big lie and spreading all kinds of Putin propaganda. And also stirring up this trucker tantrum. Encouraging it. And on one of the threads, someone's asked, about this person. How come nobody is bringing up this person? Okay, the person's name is, where is it? The person, hundreds of supporters gathered to cheer the People's Convoy. Blah, blah, blah. Where is it? I'm sorry, guys. That's why I'm telling you, It's hard to drive sometimes. When you got to stop at stop signs. You got to slow down at the speed limit. Okay, ex-Fox News director. Oh, this is a different one. Is this it? Wait a minute. Sorry, guys. Lots of shit's going on here. This is something related to the trucker tantrum. This person involved in the trucker tantrum was also just pled guilty and arrested. Maybe he was arrested for fraud. At a rally point near the Big Texas Steak Ranch in Amarillo, Texas, as the wind whipped American flags atop an 18-wheeler behind her, a Southern California lawyer and anti-vaccine activist named Lee Dundas exhorted a crowd to make donations. We're going to be doing a little altar call up here. 100% of that cash is going to back the boys' pockets for the next fuel stop, Dundas told onlookers and her live stream viewers, encouraging them to give online to the People's Convoy, a U.S.-based group of supposed activists, opposed to vaccine mandates and inspired by a self-styled Freedom Convoy that occupied Canada's capital for weeks. The group set a goal of $5 million to fuel its fight and claimed to have collected $1.5 million by Monday, eliciting growing support across the country from people who've cheered at rallies, demonstrated from chilly highway overpasses, and taken to social media to profess a loss of faith in government. Only when that government works for the people, of course, you know. Politicians, media, every pillar of democracy, of course, and other institutions they paint as corrupt and out of touch with insanity. They wanted to do something, so they gave. In this case, to the AFCLF Foundation, which launched last year and names its executive director a Texas woman named Pamela Millack, M-I-L-A-C-E-K. Milacek. Yeah, sorry. Whose arrest is sought, records show, by authorities who allege she violated the terms of her community supervision after pleading guilty to felony fraud and exploitation charges in 2020. Leaders pledge that the dollars collected by the organization, whose initials stand for the American Foundation for Civil Liberties and Freedom, free D-U-M-B, will go to the truckers and organizing for the convoy. It's part of a coalition of emerging social media influencers and groups harnessing the grievance of disgruntled voters, many of whom profess a belief in the claim comprehensively dismantled in courtrooms all across the country that the 2020 election was stolen from the con man. They don't trust government, but they are placing their trust in the nonprofit group, which lists among its top issues so-called election integrity, on a website decrying ideological discrimination, big tech censorship, cancel culture, and forced COVID-19 vaccinations. The address listed by the foundation is a co-working space in Boston. A lawyer who lives in California is listed as the foundation's incorporation, paperwork, and president, secretary, and treasurer. Dundas, Marston, and other boosters tout the growing number of supporters for the convoy. And, Dundas, who was seen on video near the U.S. Capitol during the January 6th attack, but said in an interview this week that she was a mile away. Of course, she's a liar. The entire afternoon has fought pandemic restrictions in Orange County, California, including announcing the then chief health officer's residential address during a May 2020 public hearing, prompting protests outside her home, because this is who they are. They're a bunch of scums who hate America and want to cause nothing but chaos. So the point is, while the AFCLF kept soliciting donations for the U.S. truckers on Thursday, Marston, after fielding questions from the Post about its role, alluded to possible changes. There are dynamics going on that may change how this all plays out. So, because, supporters of the demonstrations donated nearly $9 million, and it's a scam. The whole thing is this bitch, and it's another grift. I'm fucking just trying to get to the bottom of it. Hold on. Trucker. That's why I need a goddamn producer. That's not a cat. But whatever. I can't keep saying it. Whatever. Let me see. Why can't I find it? Why can't I just get to the point of the article? The point is, this bitch is grifting again, and she just pled guilty to fraud. Director of nonprofit, supposed nonprofit, is a grifter. This is what con people do. They don't find legitimate work. Once they are involved in different scams, it's what they do. That's their lifestyle. That is their bread and butter. And the Trumpanzee so-called bowel movement is a rich well of dupes that will never stop. They will never stop siphoning money out of these dupes' pockets, as we know. That's what Trump is. That's what Steve Bannon is. That's why Trump pardoned Bannon for what? For robbing. That's why he was arrested for robbing the dumbasses who were giving him money to build Trump's fake ass wall. And it was all going into his pockets, into Bannon's pockets. He didn't pardon the traitors who stormed the Capitol. He pardoned Steve Bannon. What does that say? It says that, one hand washes another in this circle jerk of corruption of these con men. Anyway. And women. I was reading this. This is another one. Ex-Fox News director who helped Russian oligarch launch a propaganda network arrested. This will be the last thing, and then we'll see what happens tomorrow. So, prosecutors found evidence in an unpublished memoir by John Hannock, who spent 15 years working for Rupert Murdoch. They're all connected. These are a bunch of scum traitors. What do you think future generations are going to say about Rupert Murdoch? Are they going to call him a bastion, a standard bearer for democracy? Or are they going to call him the parasite sucking on the pus, oozing from the infected boil on the ass of the body politic? What do you think? I think the latter. A former Fox News director who helped a Russian oligarch launch a propaganda network was arrested last month in London on charges that he helped the oligarch dodge sanctions, according to a newly unsealed court document. John Hannock, who worked at Fox News for 15 years, beginning when the network first launched in 1996, was charged with violating sanctions and lying to the FBI in U.S. District Court in Manhattan. Of course. You lie to the FBI because you're a guilty scumbag who, the FBI's gone off the rails now. It's only, they've gone corrupt. They've gone rogue. Every time these institutions that Ricky Schroder is so worried about work for democracy, that's when, they've lost their way. Hannock, who left Fox in 2011, spent 4 years working for sanctioned Russian oligarch Konstantin Meltdown, who is closely tied to Russian aggression in Ukraine, the State Department said in a news release. The Department of Justice said that Hannock's work for the oligarch had violated sanctions imposed by the Treasury Department in 2014 in response to Russia's annexation of Ukraine's Crimea territory. The Treasury at the time called Malofeyev one of the main sources of financing for the Russians promoting separatism in Crimea. Always on the wrong side of history, right? always on the wrong side of decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Everybody, right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? And thank you, Matt M., for your super chat. All right, it's time for me to get unconscious. Let Tara Jr. out of the bedroom. He's probably not happy that I put him in there. I'm sure it's so cute, though. He's waiting by the door, probably. As soon as I open the door, he's like, "What are you doing to me, Mom?" Do you want to see Tara Jr.'s video again as a kitten? I'm just asking because I know I do. Let's watch it together. And if you want to see it and want to keep it on a loop, join our Discord community. The link is in the description. If by any chance it doesn't work for you, let me see if it's in there. Sometimes I'll get a message saying it didn't work. It should work. It looks like the right link. Let me open it up. It won't let me copy it. Why? Let me see. Oh, and thank you, Covert White Rabbit. And thank you, well, Matt, first. I have to read what Matt said. Excuse me, Matt. Thank you, Matt, for your super chat. Become a patron, Matt said. Yeah. If you want to show tomorrow, somebody become a patron. And thank you, Covert White Rabbit. Like, share, subscribe, comment. This all helps boost the videos in the algorithm. You took the words right out of my mouth. Thank you so much, Covert White Rabbit. Yeah, so join the Discord. Yep, it works. It works. Let's go and watch Junior's baby video again. And here I posted some pictures of Ray, our little Ray. You see this picture down here. I wonder if I can make it bigger. It's kind of a small pic. This was Ray's first pictures. I got someone who helps with the community cats sent me this. He was like, "Uh-oh, we have a problem." Can you see Ray? See those two eyes by the pole? That's when Ray lived outside. He was little. And I was like, uh-oh. And then that was the first picture of Ray. This was when he was a little kitten. Isn't he cute? And his little shirt. I put that on him because I kept stepping on him. And there he is, all grown up. Look how handsome. He's very big. Okay. But this is our little producer. Our baby producer. Oh, no, I hit the wrong button. Wait. Murdering a little banana. Isn't that the cutest? Look how cute he was. And still is. He's going mad. It's absolute madness. I don't know. I can look at this all day. Watch. Here he goes. He's really limber, like a ninja. Boom. Goes over head over heels. Playing at murder. Murder the banana. Get it. You almost lost it. Watch. Boom. You cannot be in a bad mode when you're watching a kitten. Get it, Junior. Boom. He's such a good boy. He still does that. He rolls over on his, like when he wants to be pet. He'll just come next to me and he'll just fall over on his side. Boom, get it, Junior. That was his little bed. And he brought him home. He was still in isolation at that point. All right, everybody. That's how we should begin and end every show. With a little cute kitten. Wow, 7 bots. Incredible. At one point, we'll have more bots than patrons. No, I'm just kidding. I hope not. Thank you, Haiku, for taking care. Right? Zedric Crystal. What a waste, Zedric. You could have been something, right? You could have done something with your life. Instead of being a loser. All right, my friends. Become a patron. Thank you, Zenny, for popping in and giving this show a like and a hello. Nice to see ya. Thank you, guys. Yeah, the trolls are always seeking attention. That's for sure. Why don't they ever do something positive? Like, this is what you do with your time. Go feed the homeless or something. I don't know. Do something productive. They never do. Because, whatever. That's who they are. In Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. One people, all together. You know, one religion. As the founders wanted. Exactly. That is a perfect way to end each day. Irene. Or each show, at least. Because you get kind of, you know, your blood pressure gets high, and then you look at a little kitten and you think, well, at least I think, at least that's in the world, right? Can't be all bad when you have such cute little beautiful creatures that make you happy. All right, my friends. Thank you, Haiku, again for doing a lot of double duty in the chat room with these bots. Out of control. And thank you all. Guys, we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll do a show tomorrow. There's certainly more to talk about. But anyway, remember. I know you don't forget, but we will win. We're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, and democracy. Thank you so much, my friends. My name is Tara Devlin. Become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin, and we will see you tomorrow. If someone becomes a patron, I'll see you tomorrow night.